All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go into game number 2 between Evil Geniuses and Rox.Kis. Right now, EG is up 1-0. Let's go ahead and get into it right now. We have a Terran versus Zerg on Odyssey. EG Demuslim versus Rox.Kis Live Zerg.
Yep, TVZ. Very dynamic matchup on this map. You know, people may or may not be familiar with it. I'm pretty sure it's relatively exclusive to the NASL. I can't, off the top of my head, think of any other leagues it's used in. I don't know if I'm completely off base here, but you know, people might be new to this, so let me go to explain some of the little features. National expansion, relatively easy to take. There's a sizable choke outside of it, so that's why I say relatively easy. It's not like the easiest to take, it's not the hardest to take. And then getting to your third, that's also relatively close as well. And as you take more expansions, you get closer to your opponent's side of the map. So usually you see, rather than split east-west on this map, you see it split north-south. Also, there's a lot of counterattack opportunities, a lot of different attack paths you can take. Of course, if your opponent's going down one attack path, you can easily swing around and go for some sort of flank. A decent amount of wide open space in the middle of the map, and overall I think it's a pretty balanced map, as we see Demuslim going for an unusual Rax, just trying to throw off his opponent a little bit, maybe try to get some aggression in, that unscouted aggression in.
Yeah, unfortunately for him, this drone is going the perfect angle. If he actually goes up onto this watchtower, he'll be able to see it. Although I think he might be able to see it. Yes, he does. And wow, Live Zerg, go back. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, Live Zerg's going to go back here and try to actually deny this SCV from finishing it. If the SCV doesn't move quickly, he'll actually die. Unfortunately for Demuslim, this SCV is being so stupid. Like, so stupid. And now it only has 5 hit points left. But thankfully, another SUV is going to come to the rescue, finish that, barracks up. You can see everything's all safe and sound. No worries. Don't worry about it, Axeltoss. I know you're really worried.
I was terrified. You know, you never want to see your early scouts go down, your early workers go down. That's no fun at all. No. But of course, I'm not biased or anything. So you could say I was wanting the SUV to die. 100%. But I don't like seeing death in general. Actually, in SE2, I like seeing death. Death is glorious in SE2.
Glorious. We just see a bunker going down at the hatchery. Live Zerg obviously will see this. I like the positioning. What it basically does is makes it hard for any sort of drones to actually you know, kill that SCV straight on. You can see Marine on drone action over here. The Marine is actually getting chased like a Brazilian girl.
Wow, nice reference.
Thanks. And I think that aggression is going to be stopped.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah.
You go ahead.
And I will. Thank you, Gretorp. And it looks like Demuslim taking down a command center behind this, lifting his barracks in the main base. So yeah, not going for any sort of crazy all-in play, leaving that bunker in the mineral line there of his opponent. You know, no reason to get rid of it just yet. You know, he can always salvage it a little bit later, probably trying to get in the way of the drones mining. But once the lings come forward, he probably will end up salvaging that bunker, as you don't want to lose any more money than you should. And salvage, Demuslim, salvage, or cancel. Oh, there it is. Okay. Well, I don't know why I was saying salvage. Cancel, obviously, is what I meant. You know what I meant, Gretorp.
I do. It went down to 1 hit point. That's pretty crazy, Demuslim. It's crazy, risky, man.
It's like he was counting like the ling swipes and just making sure he gets it just right.
Yeah.
So good.
That's awesome, though. That's awesome. Now, Demuslim, you know, he's been performing really well, especially recently at MLG Winter Arena. I know he plays top 16, so congratulations to him. He's been on a roll lately. But he's doing a very interesting build. You can see that he's going up to 3 barracks and an additional factory. He is kind of weak against Baneling Bust at this point, but I guess he's saying Slivko's not going to Baneling Bust, so I don't have to worry about that. That is a risky way to play it, but Slivko isn't really a player that's known to Baneling Bust, you know, all too often at all. Did I say Slivko? I meant Live Zerg, excuse me. It's still the same. Both of them play pretty close to each other, I should say that.
Yeah, same team. Relatively unique name, Slivko in Live Zerg. There's a lot of mouth action.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of mouth action in those words. But yeah, Demuslim, really underrated player, and I think he likes it that way. Less pressure going into events, and people aren't thinking he'll do stuff, and then he goes and destroys noobs. And you know, it's pretty awesome to see. I'm actually a personal.
Oh, yeah.
I like the Muslim, but I like Livezerg too. Again, I'm not biased. Livezerg's a good player.
You're never biased.
And we see a fast third going down from him. So we saw a ZVT. We casted recently a ZVT, where the Zerg players 10 on 2 bases for all, but looks like Livezerg going for that fast third. The Muslim not able to deny that with any Hellion shenanigans. So yeah, getting his gases up as natural as well. Not a layer just yet. Link speed hasn't started either, even though he has 150 gas. So we'll have to keep an eye on that, Gretorp.
It kind of makes you think why he's actually going the Hellions if you're not going to deny creep spread or deny that third. It seems kind of out of place, these Hellions right now, because they come at a time where, you know, there's good creep spread. The Zerg count is rather large. The third is already up. So what are these Hellions actually doing at this point? I'm not sure right now.
Nothing. They're failing. They should be fired.
Should be fired. Should be.
I think.
Never have been born.
That's a little harsh.
Whatever.
It's actually pretty harsh.
I tell the truth, bro. They shouldn't, though. Right. I don't think they should.
I would not like to be a Hellion in Gretorp's army. Just say that.
Well, if you're a Hellion in Gretorp's army, you would be made for a purpose.
Really? What would be my purpose if I was a Hellion in your army?
You? You would be probably a sacrificial stone. I'd suicide you in. I'd suicide you in to represent like a smaller army now, because now it's like, oh, false sense of security. I can go in. All of a sudden, I bust out with more units.
All right. What if I go in there, kill Jones, and manage to get out?
You wouldn't. I would command you not to.
Would you send me back in?
I would send you back in immediately. You're like, oh, why is this one Hellion playing truant? I'm gonna make sure he doesn't. Now,
I did my task.
The Muslim is able to do a lot more damage than he should be doing.
Yeah, this is good.
Ooh, if he can actually... Okay, what he wants to do is take out those larvae. Nope. But these Hellions obviously doing a lot more damage than I thought they should have been doing, just because, well, it's already 10 minutes into the game. Normally you do have a Zerg army by now, but you can see Livezerg being so greedy, all the way up to 68 harvesters right now.
Whoa.
So if he can get those 2 gases and everything, he will be optimally saturated in all of his bases. He'll be great. Livezerg, that is. The Muslim is...
This is... Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, the Muslim is setting up for a big, I think, push, Hellion Marine push at this point.
Wow. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff. And Link's coming forward trying to trap these Hellions. It looks like they will be successful, not before losing a lot of them, though. And all these Hellions are going to die. But a little bit interesting there. You see this little choke outside of the third? I feel like you can kind of sort of wall that off a little bit. Maybe put a spine crawler here, a spine crawler or two there, and that will completely mitigate the potential of Hellion run-bys. So a little bit interesting that Livezerg chose not to do that. I don't know your stance on the subject, but anyway, the Muslim going to be marching to the middle of the map here. Has a lot of Marines and Hellions, and this is quite scary indeed. No medevacs here. Does he have stim? That would be weird. Okay, he does have stim, but he has no medevacs. So, you know, each time these Marines stim, they're getting one step closer to dying. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. But this is definitely a very scary push here.
Well, combat shields will be finished pretty soon, but still, as you said, that stim represents a lot. You know, you don't want to be stimming a good chunk of your health every single time. It's 10 health, and you only have 55, so the amount of stim you have is limited. Here we go. Zerglings are going to, oh my god, sandwich everything in. Baneling's going to come in from multiple sides. Baneling's got beautiful hits. Wow. Great play by Livezerg, and he's going to take a very big advantage in that, because the third was not able to be situated. You know, normally, the Muslim, he should have put that orbital command center immediately down as soon as the unit's pushed out. But Livezerg intercepting it so well. Great positioning being taken by Livezerg. The Muslim, therefore, is suffering. He's hurting really bad.
That was so sick. I was just watching the Muslim like going to the third. I didn't see the Lings come around the back, and I'm like, oh, the Muslim's gonna back up. He's gonna split his Marines. He's gonna be fine. And all of a sudden, the Lings sandwich him in, and he's gripped by a claw and not able to go anywhere. So really cool play there from Livezerg, just completely destroying that push from the Muslim. And he's gonna try to take a third, but I don't know how efficient he's gonna be in defending this, considering. Like, he doesn't have any tanks on the field. He only has Marines and maybe a Hellion or two. Just not getting a Thor.
At this point,
and no Planetary Fortress there either.
Yeah, Livezerg will not be denied this game around. I mean, those Marines back there, losing all of them. They're just walking directly up on creep. They were hurting for a squirting, man. If I had to say so myself. Now these infestors are going to get over here, and big fungals go down. That's all of the Muslim's army. And this is going to be it. I mean, where is his army? He doesn't even have anything. The third's going to be denied. All these SCVs cleaned up. It's going to be GG pretty soon.
Yep, I don't see. There's not much Demuslim can do. That's for darn sure. 2 Thors on the way. That'll help a little, but again, there's just so many units here from Zerg. Throwing down some infested Terrans, going to try to bust into the natural expansion. Muslim stimming up his Marines, not able to repair that bunker at all. Now the Lynx coming in there now. There's the Thor there, so we'll have to see if Zerg continues to try to engage this.
Now the Thor, they want to actually target down the infestors. That's the most important thing. Oh, Zerg is
what the heck?
What are you doing, Zerg? Ah! But additional Zerglings are just going to buy a little time for this infestors to actually back up there. You can see the Marines had to back up at that point. But, you know, it's not looking good for Demuslim. He has a single Thor and Marines. And let me tell you, that Thor dies pretty fast as soon as the Marine coverage gets eliminated. And that Marine coverage gets eliminated with some infestors that have energy, that actually have energy. So you go home. Infestors, you 5 go home.
Yeah. Take care of your infestors, Gretorp. Don't just leave him somewhere.
I always take care of my infestors.
Alright. Well, you don't take care of your Hellions.
I take care of my Hellions.
Well, not if I'm one of the Hellions.
Well,
I'm still a little hurt about that.
It's alright.
It's not very nice.
Dude, it's the greater picture you have to look at. The greater picture, okay?
Okay. I'll believe you.
A little drop is going to come over to the main, it looks like, but Zerg is very well prepared for this. He has 3 spine crawlers over here, 2 queens. Should be enough to buy a little bit of time for those Zerglings to move on over and defend against this drop. Also, good Overlord coverage. He's able to see everything that goes on. The spine crawler is able to finish by the time that one medevac finishes up, or gets there, I should say. And ooh boy, we've got nice positioning.
And he does.
Yeah, nice positioning with these Marines. But the Zerglings are going to clean up so fast. Easy peasy lemon cheesy. Ultralisk out in the field at this point. Chitness planing is just about halfway finished. Once that hits, that's going to be lights out almost, because let's look. Well, no, Demuslim has good upgrades. I shouldn't say that. 3-2 on the way right now. Or I should just say +3 attack. He has 2-2 right now. But I think if Zerg actually pushes in here, he's, you know, he won't be denied really.
Yeah. I agree. It's going to be definitely pretty difficult for Demuslim. Zerg needs to get a nice surface area here. Those bunkers, it'd be ideal if they didn't go down. It looks like he might try to engage here, leading with the infestors.
Yep, nice infested Terrans are going to take the brunt end of those initial siege tank shots. You can see that the Zerglings will stream in, but the Marine coverage is really, really intelligent. Demuslim actually might be able to defend against this. Whoa. Nice fungal growths go down. See, the Ultras are able to take out those Thors, but now they have to run. Oh my god, this one SCV is a hero SCV. Okay. I was just about to say. But trust me, it takes a while for those Ultras to go down. In the meantime, a couple of infestors. Going to puke out a couple of infested Terrans. It's going to deny the third from actually mining up. The main is almost mined out for Demuslim. The natural almost mined out. You know, this constant pressure, even though Demuslim had a good engagement there, the constant pressure is going to be too much. If Zerg keeps just putting on this slight pressure, leans on his opponent, he'll be absolutely fine.
Yeah, and he's continuing to make those ultras. I know people are probably shouting, "Oh, he's making ultras," and probably quoting Destiny or something like that. But Zerg definitely in a great situation here. Max 200 to 131 with Demuslim, getting down an extra base on the left side of the map. Has so many gases saturated right now. And here we go. It's going toward the third again. Going to try to deny that. Again, it's not a planetary fortress, Gretorp.
Yeah, I think if it was a planetary fortress, that would be so much better. Again, you can see Banelings now are going to get in here. Hits on some pretty nice units. You know, Ultras are really good at, you know, doing a lot of burst damage, I have to say. They always take out units, like 100% going to take out units, and that's all he really needs. Zerg really needs. He can just, as I said, lean on his opponent, and every single time he gets another round of Zerglings, he just pushes on in. He's maxing up to 200 or close to that, and then he's good to go. Getting more Banelings at this point, maintaining his advantage, even extending it with this 5th base or the 10 gases that'll be out pretty soon. This is awesome play by Zerg, and he, you know, he's looking, if he keeps this up, he's going to have a for sure 100% win.
Yeah, and you know,
it
looks like he's about to go for an engagement again. The Ultras coming forward. Infested Terrans getting laid down as well. Banelings do not have speed. They're charging in there, but again, Demuslim has a lot of stuff here, trying to split up his army. Bunker's just now finishing at his natural third, but these Ultras doing so much damage. Will this be enough, Gretorp, or will Zerg have to get some more units up here.
Again, but you see the Muslim supply right now, he's at 120, 119 actually, against LiveZerg's 188. He still is able to retain a good amount of Ultras in this composition. On top of that, he has 2 Ultras on the way out. Greater Spire is being made at this point. I mean, everything is going LiveZerg's way, and he's just round after round after round after round. And yes, he doesn't have to be the most efficient. You can see they're actually pretty close. LiveZerg actually takes the worst end of this. Whoop. But if anything, I mean, just because of his superior economy, he can keep doing this. And DeMuslim just has no response. But he has to just pray, hope to God and pray his opponent has the worst engagement possible.
Yep.
He loses everything and he goes to a big counterattack and wins. That's the only way I think he could win. But right now, not looking too great. Actually, for LiveZerg, this is the type of engagement I guess he kind of needed. But look at those Ultras. They're tearing apart, especially with that fungal growth. But he's going to have to back up yet again, killing off a good amount of stuff. But overall, well played by LiveZerg.
Yeah, I mean, DeMuslim is forcing his opponent to engage cost inefficiently. He's setting up his structures, splitting up his units in such a way that, you know, a Zerg player, ideally, you want to wrap your army, you want to wrap all of your units around your opponent's army, and then, you know, come in from all sides, get the most surface area possible. DeMuslim is setting up all of his structures in such a way where it has to be a funnel. No matter what happens, LiveZerg has to attack in a funnel formation, in that, you know, it's just feeding into DeMuslim. So right now, LiveZerg needs to just focus on taking bases and denying DeMuslim an additional base. That being said, though, I still feel like LiveZerg is in a good situation, but DeMuslim, like, he's playing this pretty darn well. He's methodically, you know, going closer and closer to his fourth with these bunkers, and just keeping his units spread out.
For sure. I mean, if you look at a max army, you're going to look around 6,000 minerals. That's what you need as a Terran to actually max out. Of course, it matters on composition, but you need a lot of minerals. And if you can see in this third, there's not actually, you know, around 6,000 left. There's maybe 4,000, 3,000 or 4,000. So really what we're seeing is DeMuslim doesn't have enough to remax. So this is like the army. It has to be super, super efficient, whereas of course we know LiveZerg has so much economy. Now the Broodlords are doing a lot of damage here. These siege tanks might have to unsiege at this point, and yes, they will. Unfortunately, DeMuslim doesn't have anything to actually deal with this Infestor plus Broodlord composition. You're going to see a lot of fungal growth going down. There they are. And now finally the units are pushing forward. The fungal growth again being reapplied. And it's not going to be enough for DeMuslim. He's going to lose all of his anti-air. You can see just Marauders and Siege Tanks out in the field. And these 5, count them, 5 Broodlords are able to do so much damage just from being alive. You know, they just force the hand of DeMuslim to push forward. There you go, more fungal growth going down. And this should actually clean up a lot of DeMuslim's forces. So we should be seeing a GG coming out from any time now, as LiveZerg just going to constantly reapply those fungals and keep up the pressure.
Yeah, DeMuslim's dead. That's all I got to say, Gretorp.
There's a
you know, he's GG yet?
Nope, but 9 Broodlords out in the field. Now 2 Vikings are going to get in here. SEVs are trying to do as much as possible. Look at that. DeMuslim's down to 73, 68 supply. LiveZerg still at a perpetual 200, 200. Like he cannot get away from there. And DeMuslim playing so scrappy. I don't even think he has any counterattacks going on anywhere.
No, he doesn't.
He hasn't this whole time.
I'm a little bit curious.
But he's a fighter, man. That's all I can say. He's a fighter. Never give up, never surrender. Who was
mentality to have.
Yeah, I know. You know, I actually interviewed DeMuslim and he said Buzz Lightyear was his role model while he was growing up.
No way?
Yeah.
That's awesome. You were my role model when I was growing up.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. DeMuslim will fall, so we have a 1-1 score for both these players. I have to say, Zergling Banelings are pretty good when they're going against Marines and Hellions on creep and getting a full, you know, a full concave, or not full concave, but a full surround. Great entry. I have to say, great entry by the Zerg player over there.
Yeah, Zerg played that pretty immaculately. DeMuslim just knocked back very early. Like after that, he was just like he's playing catch up the entire game, and he did a decent job again, trying to get his opponent to funnel his army into his, trying to make his units as cost efficient as possible, which is what you have to do if you're only on 3 bases. Your opponent is on like 6, and then DeMuslim, like believe it or not, he was clawing his way back, but just didn't know about the Broodlord tech. Once the Broodlords came, he had no Vikings whatsoever. Was not prepared at all. And then Zerg just swept through him and took the game.
So good game coming out from Zerg, and we have our 1-1 score, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to go into the game number 3 after this short break. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back with some NASTL.